Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Daniel and welcome to my channel. This is my wonderful wife Morgan, and today she's going to be assisting me in this awesome video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about this pomegranate wine that was recently bottled. We're going to be talking about the process that it went through. We're going to be talking about the taste, and we're going to be talking about what I would do different next time making a batch of pomegranate wine. So if you're ready to dive on in, then let's get right to it. So as I already said, this is my wonderful wife, Morgan. She is my partner in crime when it comes to becoming more self-sufficient, figuring out how to do things with her own two hands, how to be crafty and creative. And she's been the one putting up with me while I make endless batches of random wine experiments, asking, should I make wine out of this? Should I make wine out of that? The other day I was talking about making wine out of onions. That's a no-go. But you know what? It was a thought. And this is the stuff that she has to deal with. And luckily, we're just talking about plain old, regular, delectable pomegranate wine. So first things first, we're going to be talking about the process that this 1 gallon of pomegranate wine went through. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. So I started making a 1 gallon batch of pomegranate wine in May 4th. It is now August. So that means that this batch took approximately 3 months to finish doing everything that it was doing. I have a video down in the description below. You can go ahead and follow that link and find out exactly how I made 1 gallon of pomegranate wine. But after I put all the ingredients together and got the initial fermentation started, which is all in that video, I was sitting at a specific gravity of 1.084, which seems pretty typical for a lot of my wines. And then by the time we were halfway through June, we were sitting at 0.990. So that's about a month and a week, just letting it do its thing. And it definitely, the yeast ate up all of that sugar, which is awesome to see. At that point, I racked it over to a brand new carboy. I back sweetened it. I really have been enjoying back sweetening my wines using a sweetened version of the juice. So whatever pomegranate juice I used to make this wine, I put it into a measuring cup, and then I add some sugar to that so that I have the sugar to sweeten it, but I also have that initial juice that kind of adds to what they call the mouthfeel. Because a lot of times during the process, a lot of the good qualities in your wine get stripped, and adding that juice back in kind of makes it sweeter, juicier, and just more enjoyable altogether. So that's what I did with this, and I'm hoping that it just turned out really well. So that's the journey. 3 months for 1 gallon of wine. It's bottled, and here we are. So now that you've got to hear about the journey, let's taste it and talk about the flavor. You ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm ready.
So what were you were telling me about the S's or something?
Yes, there is the swirl and smell and sip and spit.
What are you looking for in the swirl?
So you're looking for what it's called legs in the wine world.
Yeah, but what does that mean though?
Where it sort of sticks to the edges of the glass. It is more common, I think, with red wines as it is opposed to with white wines. And if you swirl your wine and it sticks to the glass, it is considered to be a higher quality, better wine.
Does it do it?
This one has some legs.
Some legs.
Now this is a very young wine still though, so
fruit wines you generally don't age for very long.
I don't imagine it's sticking like a red wine.
No. Cool. So let's go with the smell. Right off the bat, sweet and fruity. One thing that I don't want to happen whenever I'm making a wine is that I just lose the smell of the fruit. I've definitely had some wines where the smell of ethanol took over everything else, and it's a very pungent, controlling odor. It doesn't mean that the wine's ruined. It doesn't mean that it won't age into a better wine, but this is really young. 3 months old, recently bottled, and all I'm getting is sweet and fruity. So that's good.
It doesn't have that straight alcohol, rubbing alcohol smell.
Yeah, ethanol.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the flavor.
It's a semi-tart, semi-sweet. I mean, it's very fruity. Obviously, it tastes like pomegranate. It's pomegranate wine. It was back sweetened with pomegranate juice. It's
one thing, and I know this sounds like it doesn't need to be said, but it does because it's something you don't really think about. But a lot of these fruit juices, cherry juice, pomegranate juice, cranberry juice, are incredibly tart. And that tartness isn't going anywhere just because you add sugar to it. I think that it was softened because of the amount of sweetness that's there and just because of the way that it fermented. Maybe it was softened a little bit, but you definitely still get that tartness. It's very present.
It's not as tart as, like, say you would drink a sour beer, or though it's just
it doesn't make you pucker, but it's there.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, but if you just drink pomegranate juice, it's very tart.
Mm-hmm.
There's that bird that's living in our front porch.
That's coming from the back.
I must have moved. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bird that keeps trying to build a nest on our front porch. So, overall, what are your thoughts?
It's good. I would go out on a limb and say this is probably the best wine you've made so far, and I feel like you make a wine or two different types of wines every week, and out of all of the ones we have tasted so far, this is the best one. It's not too dry. It's nice. It's more in the sweetness category, I would say, of like a Riesling kind of. It's not like syrupy, like, you know, a lot of those sweet wines are just, they're too much. I mean, they're a good starter wine for someone who doesn't drink wine, but I mean, as you drink wine, you learn to appreciate the flavor a lot better, and you more go towards the drier wines, I would say. And this one is nice, kind of middle ground.
Yeah.
Very fruity, very easy to drink. It could definitely be a dangerous wine. And it's one of those ones where the alcohol content is high enough that you get that
feel it.
Warm
feeling. Yeah, you
feeling.
definitely feel it.
Like,
but it doesn't kick you in the face whenever you take a sip.
Yeah, it could be dangerous. I could say that easily.
Yeah, I don't think this is my best wine, but you guys aren't ready for that one yet. It's coming in a future video because I made definitely a killer wine that I didn't even make a video for, but I'm going to do a tasting and a how-to video for that. But this is up there. My first three wines, my first three batches, definitely too pungent. I'm letting them age. I'm going to see what happens with them, and hopefully they mature into a little bit more of a mellow wine. But this is a good trend. I'm definitely, every batch I do gets better and better, and that's good to know. And I'm excited to see how my future batches turn out. If this is already where I'm at in winemaking, I think that I have a good, long road of success in front of me. Cool.
Yeah. And what kind of alcohol percentage would you say you would think this would be around? I know you can't tell me the exact.
So if I just use the numbers that I had and I didn't add more juice to it and back sweeten it, which dilutes it, I'd be able to figure it out. But I honestly don't care enough to do that. Going from 1.084 to 0.990 is a big drop, but then I added more juice to it. So I would say it's probably at least 14%. So yeah, looking at this, this wine has great clarity and color. It has a great smell. It has a great mouthfeel. It has a great flavor. Only negative comment is I think it's just too tart. And it's just the way pomegranate juice is. If you're gonna use a tart juice to make a wine, you're gonna have a tart wine. And I think that the tartness just hangs out too long. That would be my only complaint. And I definitely would give a bottle of this to a friend, and I would not be surprised if they thought I bought it from the store.
Yeah.
I know I'm patting myself on the back, but this is good. And I say all this because I want you to know that you can do the same thing that I'm doing. You can watch my videos and see the ingredients that I'm using, the methods that I'm doing, and you can make wine at home at 1 gallon at a time, 3 gallons, 5 gallons at a time. You know how to multiply a recipe, and have awesome wine, but the satisfaction of knowing that you did this by yourself, for yourself, to enjoy with your family, with your friends. It's just a great feeling to know that I can be as creative as I want. I can stick to the same basic recipe if I want, and I'm able to just do something that my wife and I get to enjoy. Cool. So thank you, Morgan, so much for being here. I look forward to seeing what other videos you might be in the future. I know that as our garden keeps growing, that we're definitely going to have some canning videos to do. We'll see if you want to be in those. But I look forward to making more videos. I look forward to making more wine and teaching you all how to do it, how to get started, and what the end result is like. If you want to get started making wine, if you're looking for certain products that might help you out, go down in the description below. Go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for future videos. But until then, have an absolutely fantastic day and happy brewing.